Hey folks, Justin here. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a competitive athlete, Princeton graduate, economics. I love business. I love things that go fast. And here at Fast Entrepreneur, what I like to do is just kind of share what's on my mind. I hope that you get some value from it, and hopefully it makes you, think. But most importantly, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I hope that I want to help you get what you want faster. And if there's things that I've come across or you've come across that we can share with one another, that's the goal here. So this video I'm shooting is about financial independence, financial planning, retirement, and I've got great news for you. At least I think. I think that what I'm seeing is you can retire a lot sooner than you thought. In fact, you might even be able to retire right now. Okay, now let me preface, okay, I guess I got to do a disclaimer, right? Don't take anything I say, I can't be held liable. These are just my thoughts and opinions. However, I'll give you my background. I'll tell you why I'm saying this stuff, and like I said, it's up to you and what you want to do. But I'm merely sharing this. So, when I was just a teenager, I got an internship with a top 10 internship program with Ernst & Young entrepreneurship program with Northwestern Mutual Financial Network. Got licensed as a financial representative, so I was dealing with, insurance products. We also, at the time, I worked with other reps to talk about investment advice and the like. I've helped, I've helped people put together plans. I've helped people with their retirement plans, and I am a futurist, so I focus on future trends. And so really what I want to talk to you about today is, like I said, I've got great news, I think. I want you to explore this yourself, but my thought is that, what I learned from financial planning is, I hope that you take this serious enough, because I do think that this could have major implications for you in a great way. I think that you can go live the life of your dreams much sooner than you might think. And so why do I say all this? Well, when I was doing financial planning, what I found was, it was all about helping you get what you want faster. It was asking you what your goals are, and then, set up a plan, and, a lot of times it was, well, I want to retire at this age, and I've got this much money, and I'm planning on working and doing this, and okay. And if everything works out and we crunch the numbers and percent, okay, great. And what I realized was that the questions that we ask ourselves are solely determined by what our view of the future is. And, so for instance, my view of the future may be very different than your view of the future. And that's what I said, it's up to, I can only make the decisions for me based on, what I feel strongly about. But I'm sharing this because, perhaps this will spark you to look into some other things. So I'm going to point some things out. There's just a few people. One futurist named Ray Kurzweil, he's been called the, rightful heir to Thomas Edison, restless genius. He's been mentioned Forbes and Wall Street. He's currently director of engineering at Google, and he's probably got one of the best track records, for predicting the future thus far. Well, anyways, he's just one guy, but some of his implications, led me to, well, how does some of the stuff he talks about technology impact the financial world? Came across a guy, Michael Newski, great guy. I've had the chance, him and I have become friends. He put together a blog called retirementsingularity.com. I highly recommend you go over and you check out retirementsingularity.com. He's got a free report. And he kind of shares and brings some of this stuff together about technology and finance in a way that I really never saw anyone else doing at that point in time. And so, Michael in my mind is definitely a leader and a visionary. And I think that he's I know that he's out changing the world. He just co-authored just co-authored, I think, a chapter in The Future of Business, a book, compilation. Anyway, so Michael's got some great things to think about retirement. And again, this is all leading me to think that that there's great news for you. I think that people are going to be able to retire a lot sooner than they think. And the reason I say this is because I think that there's very, very few people, very few companies, very few algorithms that have taken any of this speed of change into account. And, when you really, if you accept that technology is moving exponentially, sure, it's up to you on how aggressive or how conservative you want to be. But I truly believe that this is going to, there's probably so many people watching this video, they're not going to maybe believe it, but I think a lot of people can retire today. But it requires a different mindset. It requires, looking into, some of the things that are out there and the facts. The fact is that the cost of living is, in my opinion, is going to plummet as more and more goods and services plummet to the cost of zero because, let's face it, technology, it's disruptive, it demonetizes. Think of your smartphone. We've got people can get smartphones for $30 at Walmart, and you've got cameras, you've got calendars, you've got email programs. All this stuff would have cost just a camera alone would have cost much more than $30 come a decade ago. And so more and more things are becoming cheaper. So cheaper, faster. And I think that's great news for you and for anybody that wants to live the life of their dreams and doesn't want to put it off anymore, doesn't want to have that someday, but wants to do it much sooner. So I encourage you to kind of just look into this and, look into what some of these folks are saying. There's a Barron's Magazine top financial independent advisor, Ric Edelman. He's had a conversation with Peter Diamandis about this very topic. Peter Diamandis is a Fortune magazine top 50 world influential leader, and Peter heads up X Prize Foundation, and believes that we're headed towards abundance. All of humanity's basic needs will be met, and so if you're following these types of thoughts and you believe, then I really think the implications for most people and what we do with our lives can be great. Okay, so it's not all rosy though, right? And I do want to point out some of the other sides of this. And so I'm an optimist, and I think that most of the people that I've mentioned are optimistic about the future. But there's the other side of it. The other side of it is that we have tremendous inequality, and we've got the haves and the have-nots, and I think that it requires careful planning because it seems that we're going to have more and more technology take over more and more of the work, and a lot of people require or a lot of people rely on this current work for their income and their survival. And so, I think navigating through these next several years, and my time frame that I see it as is, probably the next 5, 10, 15 years is really, kind of what I'm looking at here. And how do we maximize today, the present moment? And so, I think that we need to be aware that while we have abundance on one hand as a possibility, we can have potential, misery and drudgery if we're not prepared. And so I think that not only you personally to have a plan, a financial plan, but also collectively as a society. And so that's really why I'm shooting this video, and I hope that you check out some of those resources that I mentioned. And if anyone is interested in kind of getting some of the some further discussion on this, feel free to reach out. And until then, I'm going to go on about my day, and I hope you have a wonderful day. So have a great one.